Okay, so my subscribers have voted and they want to know why XRP will be trading at $51 by 2027, explained in 10 minutes or less. So here we go. The first step is simple. Estimate how much value will flow through the XRP ledger in 2027, and then use that value to calculate a fair price for XRP. I want you to keep this image in your mind. Imagine the XRP ledger as a digital pipeline. Every time money moves through the pipeline, that's water flowing through the pipe. The more water that flows through the pipe, the thicker the pipeline must be. And in this model, the pipe material is XRP. So the more value or water that flows through the pipeline, the more valuable XRP will become. So first, let's measure the water flow. There are 6 layers of settlement demand or water flow, and the first one is payments. Global cross-border payments are projected to reach over 250 trillion by 2027. And if the XRP ledger captures even 1.8% of that, then that's about 4.5 trillion in payment settlement flow. So we'll use 4.5 trillion for this first number. The next number we'll need are stablecoin flows. Stablecoins are digital dollars that move constantly, 24/7, cross-border, inside apps, across exchanges, and analysts expect a $2 trillion stablecoin market by 2027. So if XRPL captures 2 to 3% of that, then that's about 50 billion in market cap sitting on XRPL. If these dollars turn over 40 to 80 times per year, then that's roughly 1.5 trillion in annual settlement flow. And that number multiplies by 2 to 4 on other chains such as Ethereum. So conservatively, we can estimate a $5.5 trillion stablecoin market on the XRP ledger by 2027. The third layer are real-world assets. RWAs include treasury bills, commercial paper, money market funds, real estate, and tokenized credit. These assets turn over constantly. 3-month T-bills roll 4 times per year, 30-day commercial paper rolls 12 times per year, loans and real estate create monthly cash flows. So even $1 to $2 trillion in RWAs on the XRP ledger could create about $5 to $10 trillion in annual settlement. So for our number, we'll use something like 6.5 trillion, which I think is a very conservative estimate. The next layer are ETFs and institutional products. ETFs cause large bursts of settlement every time they create shares, redeem shares, rebalance, or hedge. And Bitcoin ETFs already generate around 800 billion to 1 trillion in annual settlement flow. And XRP spot ETFs are just launching. If XRP ETFs do 20 to 30% of Bitcoin's activity, and we include hedging and arbitrage, then that's around 1 trillion in annual settlement flow. So we'll use 1 trillion for our number. Layer 5 or water flow 5 is lending and DeFi. Every loan, repayment, interest payment, collateral adjustment, and liquidation creates settlement flow. Ethereum credit markets already handle hundreds of billions to trillions per year. So if XRPL builds a few hundred billion in lending markets that turn over monthly or quarterly, you'll get around 2 to 3 trillion in annual settlement. So for our number, we'll use something around 2.5 trillion. Layer 6 includes everything else. This includes tokenized bank deposits, corporate treasury flows, OTC settlement, sidechains, tokenized private assets, NFTs, early CBDCs, which separately are individually small, but altogether constitute a large portion of settlement flow. So I'll assign a conservative $1 trillion. So our total settlement flow for the XRP ledger in 2027 is about $21 trillion. Now that we've estimated how much value will flow through the XRP ledger in 2027, we need to answer a simple question. How thick does the pipeline itself need to be to safely carry that much water? Or in other words, how big does the XRP market cap have to be to support 21 trillion of annual settlement flow? This is where the idea of velocity matters, because velocity tells us how many times each unit of XRP can be reused per year to help more value flow through the system. If the velocity is high, each piece of XRP will carry more water. But if the velocity is low, then you need more XRP, that is a thicker pipe, to handle the same water flow. Bitcoin has a velocity of around 1 to 2, while stablecoins have a velocity of around 40 to 80. ETH sits somewhere between 2 to 10. And XRP is somewhere in between these roles. It's payment asset, settlement token, ETF held asset, collateral, and treasury rail. So the institutional range should be somewhere around 5 to 7. So I'll use a conservative 5 for my valuation model. So our market cap is just our annual settlement volume of 21 trillion divided by our velocity of 5. And when you divide 21 trillion by 5, you get 4.2 trillion. 4.2 trillion is the amount of pipe material needed for the system to operate without breaking. This is not a guess number or a hype number, it's just the mathematical thickness the XRP ledger will need to be to safely support the pressure of 21 trillion moving through it every year. Now onto supply. XRP has a fixed max supply of 100 billion XRP. True circulating supply today is around 60.33 billion XRP, and new supply grows around 1 to 1.4 billion per year. So by 2027, circulating supply should be somewhere around 62 to 63 billion. So for our number, I'm just going to use 62 billion. And when we divide our $4.2 trillion market cap by our supply of 62 billion XRP in 2027, we get an implied future price of $68. But we also have to apply a 25% discount rate to reflect the risk of investing in a crypto asset. This discount accounts for risks such as partial adoption, slower ramp up, corridor delays, and institutional onboarding risk. And when applied to our $68 implied price, we get a discounted value of $16.94 and a target price of $51 by 2027. Which means that if you buy XRP now, by 2027, I believe you'll have an upside or a return on your investment of 2,440%. Thus, mathematically, this is the price I strongly believe XRP will be trading at in 2027. And if you like this video and you want to see more like it in the future, make sure you hit the subscribe button, and I'll see you in the next one.